Hello and welcome back to the Hero Theorem. I'm Ben and today we're going to be talking about the timeline of the Tesseract. So what is the Tesseract? To really understand this, we're going to have to delve deeper into the creation. After the universe came to be, the cosmic entities, a group of primordial cosmic beings who are also known as death, entropy, infinity, and eternity, fashioned the remnant of 6 singularities into concentrated ingots which were later dubbed the Infinity Stones. Each stone represented a different aspect of the universe: space, mind, reality, power, time, and soul. Befitting its name, the Space Stone held dominion over the fabric of space, being able to teleport its users anywhere in the universe. The earliest known people to possess the Space Stone were the Asgardians, who encased the stone within a crystalline containment vessel, known as the Tesseract, as a means of controlling its formidable power. The Tesseract stayed in Odin's treasure room as his prized possession until around 965 AD, when the Asgardians left the Tesseract on Earth, more specifically in Norway, to be guarded by the humans who worshipped the Asgardians as gods. The Tesseract resurfaced in 1942, where it was procured by Red Skull, who sought to use its power to mass-produce a line of advanced weaponry. The power he managed to extract was beyond what he could ever imagine, and gave him enough confidence to turn his back on the Third Reich entirely and make his own plans for world domination. In 1945, Schmidt managed to refine the Tesseract's power into a series of devastating bombs and a personal aircraft known as the Valkyrie, through which he intended to attack the USA. Unfortunately for Red Skull, his plane was boarded by Captain America, with the chaos of the fighting shaking the Tesseract free from its restraints. When Schmidt seized the artifact, it activated, and in disgust of his abuse of its power, banished him to Vormir, resting place of the Soul Stone, knowing he would never be able to make the sacrifice required for its power. The Tesseract then burned through the decks of the Valkyrie, eventually coming to rest in the Arctic Ocean. While out searching for Captain America's crash site, Howard Stark recovered the Tesseract from the bottom of the Arctic Ocean. Stark studied the Tesseract for some time and eventually theorized a new element based on its atomic structure. Due to the technology of his time, he was unable to actually synthesize the new element, and instead substituted it with palladium in his arc reactor prototypes. Howard left detailed notes on both the Tesseract and his new element, in the hopes that his son would one day succeed where he had failed. Following Howard's passing, the Tesseract remained in S.H.I.E.L.D.'s care. The Tesseract eventually found its way into the possession of Project Pegasus. Mar-Vell researched the Tesseract's power to create a light-speed engine to help the Skrulls under her protection. Her research eventually drew the attention of Yon-Rogg, who sought to claim the Tesseract for the Kree Empire, only for the light-speed engine to be destroyed when he came to confront the rogue scientist. Its space stone derived energies bathing and bonding to Carol Danvers. In truth, the Tesseract had been safely stored in Mar-Vell's orbital laboratory. 6 years later, the Star Force arrived at Mar-Vell's laboratory to try and claim the cube, but Danvers and her allies managed to keep it from the Kree, concealing it within Goose, who later regurgitated it. By 2010, the World Security Council had reactivated Project Pegasus, an attempt to harness the Tesseract's power into advanced weaponry. Following Thor's arrival on Earth, S.H.I.E.L.D. hired Dr. Erik Selvig to study the alien artifact and accelerate their progress. Following his defeat by Thor and banishment from Asgard, Loki found himself in the territory of Thanos, who agreed to supply Loki with a Chitauri army with which to conquer Earth in exchange for the Tesseract. Via remote manipulation of its energies, Loki used the Space Stone within the Tesseract to travel to Earth and brainwash several S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and personnel, including Selvig, to safely contain the Tesseract's energies to open a stable wormhole for the Chitauri to invade through. Though the Chitauri made planetfall, they were defeated by the newly formed Avengers. Following the battle, Thor used the power of the Space Stone within the Tesseract to take it, along with himself and Loki, back to Asgard. Back on Asgard, Thor entrusted the Tesseract to Heimdall, who used its power to restore the Rainbow Bridge, allowing Asgard to harness the Bifrost once again before storing it back in Odin's vault. 4 years later, when Loki sought to enact Ragnarok, he passed by the Tesseract and secretly took it with him as Asgard was destroyed. Unaware of this, Thor assumed the Tesseract had been destroyed with the rest of the planet. Detecting the Tesseract on board the Statesman, Thanos had the Sanctuary 2 intercept the refugee ship. After slaughtering half of the remaining Asgards, Thanos tortured Thor with the Power Stone to force Loki into surrendering the Tesseract. Though Loki attempted to use the Tesseract as a distraction long enough for Hulk to defeat Thanos, the Titan managed to best the Gamma Beast and claimed the Space Stone, shattering the Tesseract in the process. 3 weeks after the snap, Thanos destroyed all of the Infinity Stones, including the Space Stone, by using the powers of the stones themselves in order to eliminate any possibility of reversing the snap. Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Bruce Banner and Scott Lang travelled to an alternate May 4th, 2012 during the Battle of New York, back when the stone was inside the Tesseract to retrieve the Space Stone. It was accompanied by a team of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and the younger versions of Stark and Thor, who planned to take the Tesseract and Loki back to Asgard. However, on their way, they were stopped by Alexander Pierce, who demanded the Tesseract as it was S.H.I.E.L.D.'s property since World War II. While the entire hall argued, the older Stark instructed Ant-Man to go inside his younger self's arc reactor and shut it off, causing him a cardiac arrest as a diversion. The plan worked, but as Stark was walking away, he was accidentally knocked out by the 2012 version of the Hulk. This caused the Tesseract to fall right back into Loki's hands, who used the Tesseract to teleport away. This forced Stark and Rogers to travel further back in time to April 7th, 1970, to retrieve the Tesseract along with more Pym particles from Camp Lehigh in New Jersey. This does beg the question though, what happened to Loki in the 2012 timeline when he used the Tesseract to portal away? Because as the Ancient One in Endgame said, the timeline cannot be altered. It will instead create another branch of alternate realities. In short, the original timeline, the one featured in the final battle, is not altered one bit. Instead, there is now another branch where Loki runs off with the Tesseract from 2012. This means a timeline has been altered. We don't know yet where Loki may have gone, but we'll just have to wait for more films and series to be released to uncover this. So this was the timeline and the history of the Tesseract so far. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like on this video, make sure you're subscribed, and let me know if I missed anything in the comments section down below. Thank you so much once again for joining me here at the Hero Theorem, and I'll see you next time.